Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Brandon Flowers.
It's Booker and Stryker.
Oh, hey guys.
How are you?
Pretty good. How's it going?
It's going pretty well.
I have a question that could go into the Radio Hall of Fame to start this out.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
I've known you 20 years, so I've never asked you this.
All right.
Have you ever worn your own merch to run errands?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I tell you, there's this one specific piece of merch that, who, they did a small run of killer shirts. Who is it that rock and roll kind of outfitter? There's one in Caesar's Palace. There's one in
Yes.
New York. Oh, John
Barbados.
They did a special version of a killer shirt that was from our Battleborn era, and there's just something about the logo placement and the way that shirt fits me that you might run into me wearing that shirt.
Okay. What's your favorite, building off of that question, what's your favorite other band merch that you rock periodically that you just think's the best?
That's not the Killers?
That's not the Killers.
I used to have a great collection of things. I had a great Depeche Mode shirt that was from the singles tour. We did the singles tour from 86 to 98, the singles and I saw that tour and I wore that shirt a lot. I had a really cool vintage Smith shirt from the Hatful Hollow. So yeah, I've had some pretty cool shirts.
I wore Smith's shirt yesterday to our job site here. Brandon, speaking of merch, well, one more on merch. Is it okay to wear the band's merch that you're going to go see play that night?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. I know they say it's obvious that you're there as a fan. You paid money for your ticket. You don't need to wear the shirt. But I don't know. I'm used to seeing it. I think I see a lot of it at our shows, and I don't think it's cringe or anything like that.
I equate that to going to a football game. I mean, you wear a jersey of the team you're going to see. Like, what's the difference?
That's right.
You know?
What's the last football jersey you wore, Brandon?
He has a Raiders jersey now. Do you support football teams? That's a good question. Do you follow sports at all?
Yeah. Growing up, I had to. We didn't have any professional teams in Las Vegas. It was against the rules, and so we had to find find some vein into a team, and mine was the Steelers because my dad was.
That's my team. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
So we were always black and yellow, and it was always exciting to root for Steelers. Still is.
Hey, have you been so you're doing a show next Thursday at Yamava, and thank you for giving us the tickets to give out to some of our awesome listeners. Are you having a good time on the road right now?
Yeah, it's funny. 2020, we did 90 shows last year, and we typically, after we'll do a run, we'll take a year off and write a record, and I don't know what happened, but we ended up booking a lot of shows this year. So we're doing a little more than I anticipated doing, and more than I'm accustomed to doing after a world tour. But the shows are always fun. There's just nothing beats being on stage for those couple of hours.
Do you think maybe it's because we had a little reset in our society, and maybe, I don't know, you kind of missed it. It made it not so much work having a pandemic than coming back and realizing how special it is to play in front of people?
For sure. And there was that I think people were missing that communal experience too. So to be a part of it and to have the demand still there, that people are still asking us to play these shows, and it's just, it was definitely overwhelming to play those first couple of back after the pandemic. But I think we're still fulfilling something that people missed.
Mm-hmm.
That's Brandon Flowers from the Killers joining Booker and Stryker.
Okay, so you were going to release a new album, and then you said, psych, not going to release that album. What's the conversation like? Do you look at the band and say, oh, we're not feeling this? Did you know you weren't feeling it when you were creating it? I've just never heard of this happening before like this.
I think I was a little bit too, if there's such a thing as being too honest with a journalist, I may have been recently, and that's where you got that tidbit of information. It is. It's not something I think could foresee Yeah, but I think it's going to be an interesting part of our journey, and we just started to make a record that was a little bit more synth based, and I realized halfway through that it wasn't where my heart was at.
Is it a conversation with the band? Did you all sort
Yeah.
of
I mean,
feel
it's
that,
not.
or
Yeah, Mark. So Mark, our bass player, wasn't around for this, and so the other guys. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit, and everybody's on the same page, and it's going to be fine. We're going to be fine.
Of course you will be fine. I just want to give you kudos for sticking to your guns and your own instincts, that you don't really have to be the hot fuss band. You can be the Brandon Flowers and the Killers you want, whatever the heck that is, in 2023, right? Am I on the right track with that?
Yeah. I mean, you're growing, and you're. I was only 20 years old when we wrote that first record, and I was using. I've changed and grown so much. I've 3 sons. I almost have 3 teenage sons now, and a wife, obviously, and so there's a lot of evolving that goes on, and a lot of growth, and you're just trying to represent yourself and where you're at in your life at that moment, and I realized that I don't think that I was necessarily doing that, but we did come out with 5 songs, and I think a few of them are going to be heard, and they're great songs.
Mhm.
And I stand behind the songs. I just didn't want to do a whole record.
Your side of town, we've been blasting it on Booker and Stryker on Alt 98.7. We don't necessarily need to know the meaning, but where did this thing come about, and how long ago did you make it?
and were you in a disco when you made it?
It's funny. I come from that. Even though I've gotten a little bit more organic as I get older, I learned early on, from people like Martin Gore of Depeche Mode, that he made sure that you could play the song on a guitar or on a piano, before they took it into the studio and started all the gadgetry and all the synthesizers. And so I still come from that old school place, and this song, it was written on piano, believe it or not. And it plays itself pretty much, and it's been really fun to play it live.
Nice.
What's the next thing you're looking forward to with the Killers outside of touring? Is there some sort of goal? Is there something like, boy, it'd be cool if this band played the Super Bowl. It'd be cool if ...
Oh man, I don't know if there's anything left in the dream in the dream circle. We've checked a lot of boxes, and we're just I don't know. I can tell you how fortunate I am, but I don't think that I can really comprehend, how lucky we really are, and it's we've kind of done so much, and it's flown by these last 20 years, but I don't know what else is in the wish basket.
Hot Fuss, Samstown, Day and Age, Battleborn, Wonderful, Wonderful, Imploding the Mirage, Pressure Machine. Which one is the most underrated according to you? Underappreciated? Because I have an answer, but who cares what I think? What's your answer?
Nobody cares what you think.
So if you look, probably Battleborn or Wonderful, Wonderful. One of those two.
Are either one of those your favorite albums? Is it safe to say that you would say, oh, that's my favorite album? Or are they all just albums?
It's always it's always like the most recent, I think, tends to be, where your heart's at. So Pressure Machine for me is still resonating heavily with me, and I'm just really, really proud of it and grateful for that record. And we wrote it right smack dab in the middle of COVID, and it gave me this sense of purpose, and it gave me something to get a reason to go to work every day and not just sit on my butt. And I was I love that record.
I love that record as well, and I love the collaborations on there. Phoebe Bridgers. Do you see yourself wanting to collaborate more with other artists that you may not know or already do know them?
Yeah, we're definitely always open to collaborations. It's just got to be the perfect thing. Phoebe brought a special kind of sadness to that song.
Runaway Horses, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that only she could, and And so it was just a perfect moment. And if it's something like that presents itself, we will jump on it.
Are you one of these kind of artists that you can let a day or two go by without doing something musical? Like you said, go to work. I know you don't go to work unless you're on tour. What does your day look like? Do you always find yourself creating and thinking about it?
Yeah, I keep it. I'm borderline obsessed, I guess, or I'm passionate. I'm really passionate about it still, and so I have a piano at home, and my kids are gone from 9 to 3:30, and so at some point in there, I'm going to go to the gym and sit at the piano, every day.
Wow.
Now, I heard you also like to squeeze in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Below Deck. Is that true?
I heard about this Below Deck.
It's a great show.
And I heard it's great. I just finished, me and my wife just finished Painkiller, which was really great, that whole series.
I just started Yellowstone. I feel like, it's like one of those shows that everybody watched 400 years ago, and I'm like finally on board. So I feel you.
Go get you a Filson jacket.
Right, exactly. My Stetson hat, my big belt buckle, some boots. I'm ready to rock.
This is the last thing that I have for Brandon Flowers.
Okay.
And it's not music related at all.
Uh-oh.
Brandon, off the top of your head, what movies have you seen 10 times or more where it's on and you'll give it like 20 minutes because you just love it, but overall it's at least 10 times you've seen those movies?
There's probably only a couple, and I don't know if I'm completely proud of it. I'm probably The Big Lebowski. I've seen 10 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping he wouldn't go snooty, and he has not. He's got a good movie right there. All right.
What's your next one?
Come on, let's hear some more.
I've seen Goonies. I've seen Goonies more than 10 times.
Yes.
I mean, it's just, and then what else? I don't know that I would probably say those are probably two. There are a couple that are creeping up, like No Country for Old Men's probably getting close.
Oh my God, I love that. I've seen that movie 30 times probably.
That's good.
Yeah, but man, I don't watch a ton of movies.
Brandon, when I was a little kid, I grew up here in L.A., and Sean Astin from the Goonies was in my baseball league. And I remember he's like, guys, I have to leave baseball because I'm going to be in a movie. And we're like, what do you mean you're going to be in a movie? And he was going to film the Goonies.
Wow. That's the coolest.
That's pretty wild.
That's pretty wild. All right, we've wasted enough of Brandon Flowers' time. We appreciate you hanging out with Booker and Stryker today. We love you. We love your band. We love that you canceled your last album on your own. We love everything that you do. Thank you so much for joining. He's laughing because he knows how painful that is to hear, but it's true.
Thank you all. Love you all.
All right,
We'll see you soon. Have a great show at Yamava next Thursday, man.
Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.